Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with two incredibly talented individuals behind the upcoming thriller Boneyard. First, we're joined by the film's director, Asif Akbar, whose visionary approach brings this chilling true crime story to life. Alongside him is Vincent E. McDaniel's not only the co-writer of the film, but also the actor who portrays Sergeant Graham. Boneyard, starring Brian Van Holt, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Nora Zehetner, Michael Sirow, and Mel Gibson, will be released video on demand nationwide in the U.S. and Canada on July 2nd and in U.S. theaters July 5th. Asif and Vincent, thank you for joining us today. Welcome, and all I'm going to say is congratulations on your film. I saw it a couple days ago, and I was just totally blown away because I did see, I read a lot about what happened, and this film took it to a new level. So I'm happy that you guys did a film like this because I think people should really know that this happens in the world, what definition of true evil really is. So the first question goes to you, Asif. What inspired you to take on the project Boneyard, and how did you approach bringing the true crime story to life on screen?
Thank you. I have to really say the first inspiration was Vince right here. We met about 8 years ago, and we started working on different projects, and he brought Boneyard to me with the first draft that Vince and Hank Bird, our other co-writer, put together. And Vince had some experiences knowing some of the people that were involved in the real case back, in the 2000s. And he was greatly inspired to tell this story. And when I came on board, we started developing the script more. And over the years, we, were inspired by a lot of these true crime stories that were very similar. And we wanted to structure the story in a way where it wasn't just entertainment. Our main purpose was to bring awareness. And just like you said, these are real horror stories in real life that are happening. It could be our neighbor or someone we run into in the grocery store, or anyone we know that could be either a victim or a suspect in these kinds of cases. So we wanted to really tackle it from both sides, from the victim's perspective and the families, and also the law enforcement's and all the people on the other side in the investigation, and kind of structure it like a documentary and film hybrid where you're being educated through it as well.
Wow, this question is to both. True crime stories today have a significant impact on audiences. How did you balance staying true to the real events while creating an engaging and thrilling narrative for the film?
It's a great question. I think we kind of sat back and as we were going along, we had to kind of realize what we were doing at this point. Like he said, we were informing people, and we just didn't want to get away from certain things, and we just wanted to keep it
more true to
more true
the stories. Yeah.
Because you could take creative license and do certain things, but we wanted to keep it more true and, create awareness.
And the creative licensing that we did take was also, in respect to the victims and the investigation that, the APD and the FBI has been working hard in for years, and, over a decade now, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So, we had to respect all of those matters and tell a story that was cinematic, but at the same time educational. And with the characters you see in the film, we took a lot of liberty in, developing those characters.
Right. Vincent, how did you manage the dual responsibilities of co-writing and acting in the film? Did one role influence the other in any significant way?
Well, as a co-writer, it was very interesting because, I had some experience with some of these people and, being in that world at one point in my life, I pulled a lot of things from that world that I was able to incorporate into the story. And when I got in front of the camera, um, as an actor, it wasn't too hard to portray these things. But as a writer, um, and an actor, it was fun because I knew all my stuff and um, I just I was just excited to get these things out and working with Asif, he's definitely going to keep the vision pure. So, I'm excited for everyone to see this.
Yeah, I think like Vince was able to get a lot off his chest by, putting some of the things he's witnessed or experienced in Albuquerque around those times on the screen that we were able to kind of, translate on for the audience. So yeah, I think it was a very interesting time when we developed the project. It was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, so Vincent, Sergeant Graham is a pivotal character. How did you prepare for this role, and what aspects of his character did you find most compelling and challenging to portray?
Well, as you know, and as people will find out, Graham's character, he was head of his division and he's overseeing certain individuals. So with that character, I mean, he's a very unique character because he has to do certain things um in his position, but at the end of the day, he's still a family man. He goes home and hugs his wife and kiss the kids good night at the end of the day. So it kind of just shows the dynamic that certain individuals in this world, the dynamics that they have to balance.
And it's
Right.
also the dynamics and layers within the police
Yeah.
department and the other side with the law enforcement agencies during the investigation. We tend to forget about all the people that are part of the investigation, the law enforcement personnel that are dedicating their lives to this and making sacrifices to solve this case. And then there are so many different layers in the police departments that a lot of times in these stories, we don't think about all the players involved. And so I think, we tried our best to show that in this movie.
So, what did you hope audiences take away from this film? Are there any uh, specific messages or emotions that you aim to evoke?
Absolutely. It's being aware of the facts. We want to bring awareness
Truly.
to a global issue that we're looking at here with not only serial killers but missing persons cases, trafficking cases,
Hmm.
murder cases, just all these true crime stories that seem to be a hot topic now amongst global audiences. But we took a different approach in showing a side where it's also educating the viewers and not just entertaining them, to educate them to maybe prevent something like this from happening to them or their loved ones or people they know. And also maybe it'll solve a case or two, whether it's the West Mesa murders case or some other case, but bringing awareness to it is the key.
Yes, and also we have some groups standing with us like YDI, Amistad. These are programs for individuals that are in that lifestyle. They can help them
Right.
find a road to success out of those situations.
Right, right. Very good. Vincent, how is the dynamic on the set, particularly with a cast that includes high profile actors like yourself, of course, but also like Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and Mel Gibson. Any specific moments you like to share?
I mean, we had a great time filming with them. 50 Cent, you know, he had the crew laughing. He's very personable. You know, he's a nice guy. We still want our cognac 50. He promised us some cognac. But yeah, he was a great guy. Mel was professional, you know, and I know Asif can speak on that a lot more than I can when it comes to directing and dealing with them.
Yeah, everyone, the chemistry between everyone and all these different, diverse talent together was very inspirational. Everyone brought something unique to the table in this project, and it was just a blast every day. We all had fun making it, but at the same time, it was somber because we're dealing with such a hard and heavy subject matter that
Right.
at the end of the day, we took it very seriously when the cameras were rolling to tell the story properly.
Yeah, to get it right.
Yeah. So this question is directed to you because you directed this film. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced while directing? Because especially considering this is a dark, intense subject matter.
I would say, personally for me as a director, the challenge was to make sure that, we can tell this story tightly within 95, 96 minutes, and there's so many different dynamics to it. And as you've seen from the movie, there's a lot of characters, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of things happening in a short amount of time. And how do we keep it entertaining and educational, like I was saying, where that was one of our primary goals, was to educate people from scene to scene. And so far from the feedback I've been getting, it feels like we've been able to accomplish that with majority of the audience.
Let's take a short break, and in the meantime, hear an exclusive movie clip presented by Lionsgate for the film Boneyard.
Hey, listen, I didn't get any sleep on the plane. You mind if I close my eyes? Knock yourself out. Well, you scared of flying? No, I love it. These flight attendants on these private jobs, they play with enough booze to put your lights out, but there was no flight attendant.
Well, we can take you by your hotel, give you a chance to get some rest, and maybe...
Oh, no, I want to go straight to HQ. I want to be on a plane and out of here by the end of the week, But looking at the file, I want to spend as much time on this one as I possibly can. You play golf, detectives?
A little bit. You?
Occasionally. You?
No.
If they dig any more holes in that boneyard, you're gonna have a back nine.
Okay, this question is directed to both. Can you each share a favorite scene from the film and explain why it stands out to you?
You wanna go first?
Um, one of the biggest scenes that stands out to me is let me see. Let me go through that. Oh man, there's so many. There's so many. But there's a scene that stands out to me is what is that one? It's probably when I was fighting Tate in the bathroom, because it shows that I'm trying to maintain my structure in my crazy world as Sergeant Graham. I'm trying to maintain structure in my little crazy world by doing that to Tate.
Right.
And then going home to kiss my wife and kids afterwards. It just shows the dynamic of what these individuals, how they have to turn on and turn off certain things, as people in this world, as police, dealing with the streets and all of the like that's just a crazy dynamic having to deal with those things.
Right. I know watching the film and then like even afterwards when I finished watching and I got online and I wanted to know the history of it like right away because I wanted to know if they caught these people or maybe just one person because nobody really knows, you know,
Yeah,
and
no, and you know, to piggyback on that, I'd say like one of my favorite moments would be when Mel Gibson's in the conference room at the police station when he walks in and he just plugs in his USB and starts the presentation going over the different types of serial killers, and that was a definite educational piece for the audience where until you see all these different psychopaths side by side and the different kinds that come into play, you don't really think about it. And then when you really see it, it's like, wow, those are, people living amongst us, and so that was hard hitting.
yeah, I was talking
Scene
to
for
a friend of mine and he said to me, he goes, Antonio, imagine how many people you passed in the world, just passed by in the street and not knowing that just maybe they're a serial killer.
Yeah, or maybe they've killed somebody or
Or they
done
killed
something
somebody.
wrong. Could have raped somebody. Yeah, there's
And it was a horrible thought, you know. And I just want to congratulate you two for bringing this kind of film into the screen because it was a knowledgeable for me. And I know that a lot of people are into true crimes now. If you look on YouTube or anywhere, that's
right.
like that's a hot topic. So I just want to congratulate you two and Boneyard to be released on video on demand nationwide in the US and in Canada, July 2nd, and in US theaters on July 5th. So congratulations again, and God bless, and have a great press day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.